Hi Virgo, this is Just with your March 2020 general reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. Virgo, want to leave? Some of you want to leave and escape, start all over, start from scratch, but you can't. Can't. That seems to be the biggest challenge right now because there's a lot to take care of. You can't just leave it all behind. Someone has to do it. You have to be the one to do it, right? And it's becoming insurmountable. The issues one after the other, and there's a lot that you have to take care of. And it's like if you don't, it's going to start to just like fall apart. Things are just going to start, coming down left and right. So you can't leave it, you can't walk away from it. You have to deal with it. Some of you may feel like the situation, something was unfair, right? Something in your life has been unfair, unbalanced. Something hasn't been dealt with, and now it's a problem. There could have been, or there will be, for some of you in career sector, that you're able to kind of go back, or someone will try to come back, especially if there was discord, drama, issues at the workplace, and you'll finally be more in the control seat. If you have been looking for work and it's been very difficult, you'll find it to be more possible and plausible in the weeks to come, if not by Gemini and Gemini seasons, Gemini Cancer season for a lot of you. If you have not been able to travel because of, well, all the health issues that we're being faced with right now, specifically when it comes to travel, things will clear out Gemini Cancer season. You may be able to start to make more tentative plans. Aries season, so April time, I'm feeling that you'll be able to kind of like have more of a foreseeable plan in place of what you can do, what you can't do, how much you can do it, that sort of thing. So things will kick back up and get far more powerful, and you may feel like you're more in control, in a driver's seat. You have more of an ability to manifest and make things happen when it comes to career, Gemini Cancer season. But you'll start to see things a lot more clearly in April. Now, in the meantime, though, there's a lot of fogginess, not feeling clear about a situation. You may at first feel like you got things under control in your home, and then things kind of go awry. You can have, teenagers, young adults who are out of control, who shuts down, doesn't want to communicate, or who can be completely irate, acting out, needs more attention than normal. So emotions can run quite high, or you may feel like everyone has drawn back and no one wants to kind of be involved and no one wants to be bothered. But there's still a lot to do, even in the home space for some of you, and it could require money. For some of you, you need to pay someone. If you've had legal counsel in the past, maybe considering doing it again. You may have to. You don't want to. You may have gotten an unfavorable judgment, or what you expected to get did not come to pass as you would hope. And so either you're going to get a small amount of money and that's stressing you out, or you may have to pay out some money and that may stress you out because you just don't have that much faith. You're going to start to feel balanced again, start to feel like you kind of, again, you're letting go and letting God, and you're having more faith and peace with the situation. That quickly kind of goes awry, either by force or by choice. It's you trying to keep your equilibrium together, and then someone comes out of nowhere with all of their issues, which could topple everything over. Or you just completely get out of bounds with things, and discombobulated because you have so much going on, and you really don't feel very confident that you can execute the way you normally would. You guys are really stressed out. This Pisces season is the worst. You just don't know how much I'm ready for this season to be over. Like, I'm never too fond of Pisces season anyway, but with the retrograde, it just has been very difficult. That being said, I do feel like for some of you, you will experience what may seem at first to be very peaceful energy, and people getting along to chaos, or again, people not communicating. No one's really addressing what the issue is. But the issue with that is either people just let it go once we get into Aries season and be like, oh, whatever, that wasn't even, I don't even want to know what, it doesn't even matter. Or whatever has not been said, once we get into Aries season, it's going to be guns blazing. So for some of you, could be definitely dealing in that space, and possibly dealing with someone who them very well. And it can get kind of sticky because it's like the two of you share that in common, right? Particularly when it comes to possibly a love situation. For some of you, especially if you are a coupled Virgo, you can have two people. If you're a Virgo woman, you can have two men that you are getting to know, one while you're going through this issue, and it could get quite legal, as I said, um, or you haven't made a complete decision about which way you're going to go. There's some unrequited love or not being able to get on the same page with another person, and while the other person is pursuing you. And I feel like whoever's pursuing you, it's almost, they're not in the way, because they could be someone who, they completely mean well. And I do feel like to a great extent this person, and you have a really natural rapport, but this other person is just making it impossible to have this go anywhere, because they're just they have a lot of influence on your emotions, your mental state. So they know they can come in and shake shit up, and that's kind of what they're doing. So it's hard for you to compartmentalize and just focus on, okay, I'm happy with you, when this person is texting you, calling you, or they'll be waiting at the house, or whatever tactics are being used, or you're in the midst of a fight of your life with someone. Virgos typically need to hanker down and deal with the problem at hand before they can just freely enjoy other people. And for some of you, you're going to notice that trying to move on to someone else when you have this goddamn issue, sore thumb in your life, is going to be quite difficult to do. That being said, for some of you, it could be just one person, not two people, but one individual who is money hungry, and this person doesn't know how to, or hasn't been able to be very committed. You guys may have fallen out, could be because of a third party situation, or love is just not there as it used to be, and someone is not willing to commit, but they're still doing something, so they still could be paying bills and doing something financial. And this person may have, or maybe wanting you back now. They see you walking away, and it's real to them now, like, oh, you're really walking away. And so they could have tried to do all that they can tangibly, right? Buy you things, that sort of thing, pay for this, that, to convey a sense of love. And you know what that means when the money starts to flow, or when they make these gestures towards you, and it does bring you a sense of stress and anxiety. But some of you may feel like, you know what, I'll get along to go along for now, because it's just not time to execute. You guys are very familiar with when it's time and when it's not, and you know it's not time. But possibly, I just see things kind of going awry. This person may not get enough attention on a particular day. They may not feel like you're being very sincere, or two, you may just fall out, and that can prompt someone to want to close the purse strings, not give anything to you, not give up anything. And it is a way of punishing. Now the thing is that the two of you are very aware of how to punish one another. You can ice each other out. It goes from no communication to, could be verbal jousting, where both of you are going out of your way to hurt the other person. This could be a situation where it comes down to money, especially if you guys are living together. There's material items involved. This thing can kind of get ugly. I just see something that could very well get kind of ugly. And for those of you out there who may say, well, this reading is kind of negative, this is what I'm picking up on. Can I spin it and say, well, you have love here, and this person, they see all the possibilities, and they're not very confident if they don't have you in their life, and you guys, aren't communicating, but I see this as like great, clear communication. That's just not how I read, and I'm giving you clearly of how I see it, and I'm sure some of you who connect with this reading is going through the same thing. And it's not to say that you guys aren't feeling that way, but I know with Mercury being retrograde, it's very difficult energies right now, and that's what I'm picking up on. And so my readings, at least not now, they have not been the most fuzziest and most positive. I would love to give everyone, including myself, a positive and fuzzy reading, but you got to be real, right? And so that being said, I do see for some of you Virgos going through that place of not communicating. It can get kind of sticky and dicey. If mother energy is involved, that is going to be a saving grace here. She may be the helm to get everyone to try to work things out, talk and fix it. Also, I do feel like if there's a mother here, if some of you have children, I do feel like you will try to work things out for the children. I do feel like there's a lot of maturity that happens here when it comes to co-parenting, that sort of thing. Someone also could be holding back because the protection of children here as well. But I do see protection. I do see holding back. I see money given and then money being cut off. I see emotions being given and then that shutting down. And then the two of you just getting to a place of not communicating here. There could be an aspect deep down inside if you guys are on the road to being secretive. I'm sorry, not secretive. I see the moon card. There can be some secrets here, but I do feel like deep down inside there's a sense of not necessarily wanting to be divorced or single. You don't really want that life. Some of you definitely, if you've lived a comfortable life, or anytime there's two salaries compared to one, there's an adjustment. And I don't feel like you necessarily want that adjustment if that means that now you go down to one salary or one income. And that may slow you down a bit, Virgo. Just keep that in mind. You may feel like life is stopping because now all these adjustments and changes are being made. And this person, especially if they have some form of influence over the finances, they're going to use that. And I do feel like I said, there's going to be some type of slowdown, or at least feeling like your life is at a standstill because of this, and you may not feel like you know or can see your way out of it. You may become very guarded, defensive, and distrusting. Maybe this person has said to you before, I would never do ... and here they are doing that very same thing. There's going to be some type of a pickup to this situation. I do feel like there's going to be a full circle moment of where you are now, if there is communicating and exchanging monies or willing to put the work in. And there's going to be some kind of communication about that again happening. But it's like things do change completely between you and this person. This now becomes a lot about money and the negotiation of that. And I feel like it's money, or I feel like it's someone's time and attention, but this feels more like money to me. And time and attention. Someone probably doesn't want to have to pay child support, doesn't want to have to pay alimony, doesn't want to have a check cut, doesn't want the government, doesn't want the courts to get involved in what the two of you have put together. And that could be the basis of this situation between the two of you. So it becomes more of not business, but it's really about the business of this relationship. So it's really about your relationship is really coming across as a business. Now, when it comes to single Virgos, some of you feel like you're out of control. The situation is out of your control. You may have done a lot of looking into this, looking into that, and you're trying to avoid any more sticky discomfort, disappointments, sadness and heartache and pain. And the best thing for some of you to do is probably to accept that a situation is over, or for someone to accept that about you. Again, even if you're single, there's going to be some things about money or things or children. It's just some things that needs to be addressed, right? And so far, there isn't a sense of either you or someone else. I get Gemini, Libra. Libra is very prominent. Sagittarius is prominent as well. Could be Aries. It could be any sign, as we know, Cancer, any sign, but those are the signs that's coming up more prominent. And I feel like there's a sense of feeling as though there's something that still needs to be taken care of, even though you may feel like it's not in your control. It's not in someone's control. Someone has lost control over making this work again, getting this back to where it used to be. And it's almost like for a glimpse, for a second, it seems like the two of you will be able to, and then things just kind of fall off the rails again, and it's back to not communicating, not being able to express clearly or honestly how either of you feel. And once again, as I said, needing to kind of fix things or work things out when it comes to things, or being very practical. If this is not about things, this is someone that wants what they put out. They give you, they want. If you give, you want. There's no half-ass, I'm always the one giving and no one's giving me. Like, you want what you're giving. And if you're not you're not getting it, you're not going to give it. But you want to give it because you're a giver. Virgo's a giver. So you want to give it, especially to those that you love. But you may learn over and over again that, like, either you're coming from a place where you need someone and you don't want to be in a place where you need anyone anymore, because there lends itself for emotional manipulation and financial manipulation. And so the focus is now going to be to, change the dial and be more independent. That's what your focus is pretty much going to be long term, not in the short term. In the long term, that's what Virgo's focus is going to be. And in the meantime, I think that there's going to be some, from your perspective, a lot of cooperation. Like, you're going to understand. It's going to be a while, Virgo, that slowly but surely you're learning more and more of how to handle this. It's like trial and error. A lot of you are going to go through trial and error with this person, or trial and error with this process, before you get to a place where it's like, I got it. I got it. I found the formula. Remember, I told you guys a while back that you found the formula, but that was with career, finance. Something about making money was a formula that you found. You're going to find the formula when it comes to this relationship, or still having to deal with someone, even if you're single, when it comes to some form of relationship. Because even if you're single, I do see something not being completely over, and the two of you still are very much joined by the hip. You very much share the exact same energy. So if you're pissed, they're pissed. If you feel like this wasn't going to work and they were superficial, or thought of you to be superficial, vice versa, there's something about very much sharing each other's energy that is very potent right now. So in the extended, we're going to look at this person, all about this person. How do they feel about you? What do they think? What do they want to tell you down the side? What secrets are they keeping? What would they tell you if they could? What are they challenged by, and what would their actions be? We're also going to look at long term. How's this all going to work out between the two of you? We're also going to look at you, Virgo singles, what's coming up for you in love with the months to come. So if you're interested in that, click the link below and we can get started with the rest of this love read. If you like something personal with me, you can find that in the description box below, and my link to my website. If you would like to share, please do so in the comment section below. And if you are new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I'll be back very soon with another one. Take care, Virgo.